Why didn't Prince Harry give Meghan Markle the mic? He had it. I mean, he had the mic this time, unlike the other time when he went on stage and they offered him the mic and he said, pointed at Meghan Markle, give it to her, and the guy just laughed in his face.
Can you picture it? A crowded hall, cameras flashing, all eyes fixed on Prince Harry.
I think with Harry, as you said, when he was back here and he was doing those royal engagements, yes, he was great at them. He can only do tricks like that. He hasn't been good as a TV producer.
And then suddenly, Meghan Markle steps forward, bold, unexpected, breaking the rhythm of the evening. Did he really just snap at her in public? The whispers start almost immediately. Some think it's a minor tension, others feel something deeper. Earlier that night, Harry was calm, delivering his speech with precision, every word measured, every gesture careful. But then Meghan appears out of nowhere, crossing paths with him, the crowd holding its breath. The scene feels off, almost surreal. Imagine the tension hanging in the air, the silence heavier than any applause. You could see it in Harry's eyes, that subtle shift, a flicker of something rarely shown to the public. For years, he had always stepped aside, letting Meghan shine. But tonight, the balance seems different. Did the spotlight just reveal cracks we weren't supposed to see? Or is this a moment of quiet pushback, a subtle warning, witnessed by dozens yet understood by few? Stay with us, because what happened next isn't just awkward. It's the truth behind the cameras that nobody talks about. The unexpected stage encounter. Picture this. Prince Harry is standing on stage calm, composed, delivering a speech he has clearly practiced countless times. His words are measured, his gestures deliberate, and his eyes occasionally scan the audience, taking in every reaction. The room is filled with dignitaries, journalists, and royal watchers, all leaning forward slightly, anticipating each sentence. There's a rhythm to the evening, a sense of order that suggests everything is unfolding exactly as planned. And then out of nowhere, Meghan Markle appears. She doesn't wait for an invitation or a cue. With confidence radiating from her every step, she weaves past aides, photographers, and officials, her presence commanding attention even before she reaches Harry. Imagine the scene. The audience's collective focus shifts instantly. Some hold their breath, unsure of what they are about to witness. Others exchange glances, eyebrows raised, whispering under their breaths, trying to make sense of this unexpected interruption. Cameras click, flashes illuminate the room, and for a brief moment, the carefully controlled atmosphere seems to fracture. Harry stiffens, just slightly, almost imperceptibly at first. His voice remains steady, but his body language tells a different story. His shoulders tense, a micro-expression crossing his face, as if silently calculating his next move. Meghan steps closer, her hand reaching toward the microphone, a gesture that, in previous events, would have prompted Harry to hand it over immediately, almost instinctively. Tonight, though, he does not. The refusal is subtle, almost invisible to anyone not paying attention, yet the tension it creates is palpable. Time seems to slow. Every second stretches longer than it should, each heartbeat magnifying the quiet clash unfolding on stage. The audience feels it, even if they can't articulate why the moment feels unusual. What should have been a shared public appearance, a simple handoff of attention, transforms into a silent battle. Power dynamics that have long been private now hang in plain view, visible in small gestures, a tilt of the head, a tightened grip on the microphone, a fleeting glance that communicates more than words ever could. This is not the first time Harry and Meghan's stage presence has drawn attention. Observers have noted subtle interactions before, a shared glance, a careful step aside, moments where Harry allowed Meghan to take the lead. But tonight, something feels different. The usual fluidity, the unspoken understanding between them, seems momentarily disrupted. The subtle snap the micro-boundary Harry draws is loaded with significance. It suggests restraint, control, and perhaps frustration, leaving everyone watching to wonder what unseen tensions might exist behind closed doors. The room, silent and still, becomes almost a third participant in this unfolding drama. Every eye, whether in the front row or in the back, absorbs the energy shift. The flashes of the cameras, once routine, now punctuate a moment of unpredictability. Even those accustomed to royal decorum seem caught off guard, sensing that what they are witnessing is a rare glimpse behind the carefully constructed public image. Meghan continues to stand near Harry, her expression composed yet resolute, signaling that she is not ready to step back. Every second of this standoff magnifies the stakes, transforming what could have been a minor stage incident into a defining moment. The audience is left questioning. Has the balance of influence subtly shifted? Is this a quiet assertion of authority, a private disagreement spilling briefly into public view? Or is it simply a fleeting moment destined to be smoothed over in post-event coverage? The cameras capture the scene, but they cannot capture the full weight of the tension, the unspoken dialogue unfolding in body language, gestures, and glances. Every detail, the direction of a hand, the tightening of a jaw, the way Meghan advances and Harry holds his ground, tells a story that words alone could never convey. For those present, the moment lingers long after the applause resumes, leaving an indelible impression that even the most composed public figures can reveal cracks when the spotlight exposes unseen pressures. Crowd reaction and awkward silence. Imagine dozens of people gathered in a grand hall, all expecting a formal, seamless event. The kind of evening where every gesture, every word, has been rehearsed or carefully anticipated. Guests are seated, photographers line the perimeters, and the air hums with polite chatter. Yet in an instant, everything changes. A moment that should have been ordinary freezes time itself. The room goes silent. No polite applause, no murmured approval, nothing but a heavy, almost tangible stillness. The tension presses down like a weight on everyone's shoulders. You could feel it in the shuffles of chairs, the barely perceptible gasps, and the way some guests instinctively glance at their neighbors for cues on how to react. The silence isn't empty, it's almost alive, vibrating with curiosity, unease, and unspoken speculation. Social media would later describe it as icy, but being there in person, you could feel it in every corner, in every paused breath. It's the kind of silence that fills a room louder than any noise could. Observers who were paying close attention noticed the smallest details. Harry's gestures, for example, were telling. A hand pointed subtly, not in anger, but as a controlled, measured warning. His body shifted slightly, a minor turn that indicated authority and calm dominance at the same time. Every motion was deliberate, a silent assertion of who controlled the moment. Meanwhile, Meghan remained poised, her expression composed, yet betraying a flicker of frustration. Even without a word, it was clear that she had expected a different response, perhaps acknowledgement, perhaps support, and the absence of it only intensified the awkwardness. Seconds stretched into what felt like minutes. Every tick of the clock amplified the tension, making the frozen air almost unbearable. The crowd wasn't hostile. That's the interesting part. It wasn't anger that filled the room, but indifference. And in situations like these, indifference can be far more piercing than criticism. It's subtle, but deeply cutting, as if the audience itself had decided to take sides by simply refusing to engage. Every pause, every unacknowledged gesture, magnified the drama unfolding on stage. Meanwhile, you could almost see the unspoken calculations happening in everyone's mind. Who would break the silence first? Would someone clap to ease the tension? Or would everyone maintain the frozen attention, complicit in the discomfort? Photographers captured it all, flashes intermittently lighting the room. But even the best angles could not fully convey the quiet intensity, the layered emotions, or the sense that something unexpected and monumental had just occurred. For Meghan, The pause was almost unbearable. Each second that passed without recognition from Harry, without an audience reaction, seemed to grow heavier, testing her composure and patience. For Harry, the silence reinforced control, signaling a subtle but firm boundary in a public setting. What might have been a routine, ceremonial interaction turned into an intricate dance of body language, power, and social expectation. Even after the initial shock, the atmosphere remained thick with tension. Guests murmured among themselves, speculating what had just happened, interpreting small glances, tiny shifts in posture, and gestures that might seem insignificant, but were laden with meaning. What the cameras caught was only a fraction of the story. The silent cues, the mental negotiations, the fleeting emotions between two people who had been so carefully scrutinized for years. By the end of the moment, the audience felt the weight of witnessing something rare and revealing. A power dynamic subtly altered, a boundary drawn, a silent message sent without words. That frozen silence would linger in conversations long after the event ended, leaving everyone wondering about the cracks in a relationship often portrayed as flawless. Behind-the-scenes tension. While the public only saw a brief clash on stage, insiders revealed that the story ran far deeper than anyone could imagine. What appeared to be a minor hiccup, a simple moment of hesitation or subtle refusal, was in reality the tip of an iceberg. Those close to the couple insist that Harry's usual patience with Meghan had been tested repeatedly in recent months. For years, he had been willing to step aside, to let her shine in public appearances, to accommodate her presence and ambitions, often placing her comfort and image above his own. But that evening, subtle resistance began to surface, a quiet, almost imperceptible signal that his tolerance had limits. Conversations behind the stage, away from cameras and flashes, painted a different picture than what the audience witnessed. Staff, aides, and insiders noticed an unusual tension building over small matters. Who would speak first? Who would get the spotlight? Which gestures were acknowledged and which were ignored? There were unspoken rules, rituals that had long been maintained, but that night, some of those rules seemed to be challenged. The usual harmony between the couple felt slightly frayed, and whispers of minor disagreements hinted at a struggle for attention that was far from public knowledge. Sources close to the couple describe Meghan's boldness as both a strength and, at times, a source of friction. Her assertiveness, her desire to be noticed and to lead moments in the spotlight, occasionally conflicted with Harry's own sense of balance, decorum, and traditional expectations. Where he once allowed small gestures to pass unnoticed or accommodated her seamlessly, now there appeared a subtle pushback, a recalibration of boundaries that few onlookers could immediately recognize. That single public moment, brief as it seemed, mirrored months of tension, the kind of private strain that cameras rarely capture, but those closest to the couple could feel in every interaction. Even among aides and event organizers, there was a sense of heightened awareness. Every step Meghan took, every glance she cast, was met with careful observation. Harry's responses were similarly scrutinized, his body language analyzed for hints of irritation, control, or subtle guidance. Behind closed doors, discussions about public appearances, speeches, and gestures had taken on a new urgency. How to maintain decorum, how to manage optics, how to ensure the balance of attention without igniting visible conflict. These were the challenges quietly unfolding as the evening progressed. The weight of expectations also played a role. For Harry, navigating his relationship with Meghan under constant media scrutiny was already complicated. Add the pressures of tradition, family expectations, and public perception, and even minor disagreements could feel magnified. Meghan, on the other hand, was operating with her own agenda, seeking visibility, influence, and control over how she and her family were represented. The intersection of these priorities, amplified by the intensity of live events and public exposure, created a silent tension that few could truly understand. In essence, The public witnessed a fleeting clash, a pause, a subtle refusal. But behind the scenes, a quieter, more profound struggle was taking place. Months of accumulated frustrations, differing priorities, and unspoken negotiations converged in that single moment. The audience saw only the surface, but those in proximity understood the layers. The clash of personalities, the balance of power, and the delicate dance between public perception and private reality. That night, what appeared simple on stage was, in truth, a reflection of deeper complexities shaping the relationship between Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, the complexities that would continue to influence their public interactions and personal decisions long after the cameras were turned off. Media coverage versus reality. The moment unfolded live, but what the world saw afterward was a very different story. Cameras captured flashes, smiles, and poised appearances, giving the impression of a seamless, harmonious event. On TV, Harry and Meghan appeared composed, in sync, almost perfectly choreographed. Every gesture seemed calculated, every glance seemingly innocent. Official outlets ran photos of the couple standing together, Meghan smiling politely, Harry addressing the audience with confidence, projecting an image of unity. To the casual observer, nothing unusual had happened at all. Yet social media told a completely different tale. Short, unfiltered clips began circulating almost immediately, moments that the cameras at the main broadcast had either missed or deliberately excluded. In these clips, Meghan's bold stride onto the stage was clear. Her confident approach, the subtle yet noticeable attempt to reach for the microphone, and Harry's quiet but firm refusal were all captured. Observers online picked up on small gestures, a tilt of the head, a tightened jaw, a pause in the speech that suggested tension rather than harmony. The raw energy of the moment, the awkward silence that fell over the audience, and the subtle clash of authority were impossible to ignore. This contrast created a strange duality for the public. People who relied on mainstream coverage saw a smooth, almost flawless event, reinforcing the narrative that everything was under control. They witnessed smiles, politeness, and orderly proceedings. Meanwhile, those scrolling through social media glimpsed the undercurrent of tension, noticing the micro-interactions that hinted at a power struggle. Some viewers sympathized with Meghan, believing she had been subtly sidelined. Others felt Harry was merely focused on delivering his speech, unaware or unfazed by the interruption. And yet, the truth wasn't entirely either of these extremes, it lay somewhere in between. Insiders insist that the public moment was a reflection of deeper private tensions, ones that cameras rarely capture. Months of small disagreements, subtle tests of patience, and quiet negotiations behind the scenes came to a head in that fleeting encounter. The media's selective portrayal meant the audience only saw polished fragments, while the raw reality body language, tiny gestures, and emotional undertones was left for those watching closely or witnessing it live. The effect of this duality on the audience was profound. Confusion and speculation spread quickly online. Clips were shared millions of times, discussions ignited, and hashtags trended within hours. People debated what had really happened, piecing together fragmented observations into their own narratives. Meanwhile, the mainstream coverage continued to present a controlled, idealized version, effectively masking the complexity of the interaction. In essence, what seemed like a small stage incident became a perfect example of the difference between curated media and lived reality. The public moment, brief as it was, revealed a subtle power dynamic, a negotiation of authority, and the quiet tension between Harry and Meghan elements that official coverage smoothed over, but that millions online could witness, discuss, and dissect in real time. It was a rare glimpse of the truth behind the image, a reminder that appearances can be deceiving, and that sometimes the silence between words speaks louder than any statement ever could. Ripple effects on public image. That brief stage clash didn't just vanish into the evening air. It left ripples that spread far beyond the hall. Almost immediately, discussions erupted across social media, forums, and news outlets. Fans and critics alike dissected the incident, trying to understand what had truly happened between Harry and Meghan. Was it just a minor disagreement, a fleeting moment of tension, or a more significant indication of shifting power dynamics within their relationship? Every detail, the way Meghan approached the microphone, the slight hesitation in Harry's gestures, even the expressions on their faces, was analyzed frame by frame. For supporters, the moment sparked concern and curiosity. Many began questioning how the couple manages their public appearances, wondering whether Meghan's assertiveness had clashed with Harry's desire to maintain decorum. Others speculated about Harry's apparent restraint, interpreting his refusal to yield as a sign of a growing need to assert boundaries, perhaps even signaling frustration that had been building quietly for months. For these viewers, what was visible on stage became a reflection of deeper, private struggles they could only imagine. Critics, meanwhile, were quick to magnify every gesture. A raised eyebrow, a hand slightly tilted, or a prolonged pause in applause became evidence of a power struggle. Analysts scrutinized Meghan's body language, her poised yet firm demeanor, interpreting it as confidence bordering on dominance. Harry's subtle yet deliberate control of the microphone was framed as a moment of silent defiance, suggesting that the balance in their relationship may be shifting in ways previously unseen by the public. Even casual viewers, those who might not follow royal events closely, began to notice the cracks in the carefully maintained image of unity that Harry and Meghan usually project. Social media clips made the moment more tangible, revealing what official broadcasts often polished or omitted. Suddenly, the couple who had long been seen as a seamless team were now perceived as individuals negotiating authority in the spotlight, with the audience witnessing a rare glimpse of tension rather than harmony. For Harry and Meghan themselves, that single public encounter became symbolic. It represented more than a disagreement over a microphone. It was a subtle assertion of control, a quiet pushback, and a moment that could be interpreted as a turning point in how their relationship is perceived by the world. The ripple effect extended beyond just their fans or critics. It influenced the broader public conversation about the monarchy, modern relationships under scrutiny, and the challenges of balancing personal dynamics with public expectations. Months later, commentators would still refer back to that night, highlighting it as a defining example of how even brief, seemingly minor incidents can alter perceptions. The clash became a lens through which observers examined every future appearance, every interaction, and every gesture. For Harry and Meghan, the moment served as a reminder that the public eye is always watching and that even subtle tensions can resonate far longer than anyone anticipates, shaping narratives and opinions in ways that go beyond the immediate event. What started as a routine public appearance ended up revealing more than anyone expected. A silent clash, subtle gestures, and an unexpected stage encounter offered a glimpse into the complex dynamic between Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. The audience may have held its breath, but the implications stretched far beyond that room. Now, the question remains: is this a one-time incident, or the start of a new pattern? Social media continues to dissect the moment, and insider whispers suggest there's more happening behind the cameras than anyone realizes. If you found this story as shocking as the crowd did, make sure you don't miss what comes next. Hit the like button if you're surprised. Share your thoughts in the comments. What do you think really happened? And don't forget to subscribe so you stay updated with every unfolding detail. The story of Harry and Meghan is far from over, and we'll continue to bring you the truth behind every public moment, every subtle glance, and every whispered tension. Stay with You won't want to miss what happens next.